Chinese pot. That's the way to learn Chinese. Chinese pot, Chinese pot.
Hello and welcome back to Chinese Pod, coming to you from Shanghai, China. My name is Kai En.
And I'm Jenny.
Good, and today we're going to talk about basic lesson in cooking and asking basic questions.
Wow, I love that topic.
I know you do, because you're Chinese, and all Chinese love cooking.
We love our food.
It's you really have to be here to experience it. Food is really. I think some countries. I mean, France and Italy, obviously, and
very
China.
passionate about.
Food is big. Where I'm from, Ireland, and I think it's the same in the UK. No, we eat to live. You guys live to eat. It's just very different. Irish food has actually really improved in the last few years, I must say. But I mean,
you guys have great produce
we
there.
have great produce.
Right?
I think one of the big differences is that Chinese food has got thousands of variations, and it's not your meat and potatoes because it's staggering. I mean, I've been here for 11 years, and every day in the restaurants you'll see new dishes, and quite often these are traditional dishes that just come from some region or other. But so anyway, we're going to look at a dialogue now about asking very basic questions about can you cook and so on. So why don't you just sit back and just take a listen 2 or 3 times, and then we'll break it down for you.
你会做菜吗？
会一点，你呢？
我做得很好，我的拿手菜是番茄炒蛋。
那你下一次做给我吃。
Okay, good. Now, I do believe a sentence-level translation would be a good idea. Do you agree, Miss Zhu?
Yes, especially with this lesson.
Absolutely.
你会做菜吗？
Can you cook?
你会做菜吗？
Can you cook?
你会做菜吗？
Can you cook?
会一点，你呢？
A little bit. And you?
会一点，你呢？
A little bit. And you?
会一点，你呢？
A little bit. And you?
我做得很好。
Hey, Tom!
Oh, Tammy, how's it going?
Ni hao, ni hao. How's your Chinese coming along?
Well, I gave up.
真的吗? Chinese pod no longer?
Well, really, I was so busy, I didn't have the time.
Not the time? You don't have 90 seconds per day?
90 seconds?
Yes, 90 seconds. So you did not try Chinese Pod Recap? This app, you can insert your learning experience whenever you have even just a little window of time.
90 seconds are enough to go through bite-sized pieces and recap your lessons in Chinese Pod Recap, the app for busy learners that want to use little breaks to refresh what they learned. Chinese Pod Recap synchronizes to your phone so you have what's relevant for you available even if you have no internet connectivity, like on planes or in the deepest tunnels of the New York subway.
I can cook very well.
我做得很好。
I can do it very well.
我做得很好。
I can cook very well.
我的拿手菜是番茄炒蛋。
My special dish is fried egg with tomatoes.
我的拿手菜是番茄炒蛋。
My specialty is tomatoes and fried egg.
我的拿手菜是番茄炒蛋。
My special dish is tomatoes and fried egg.
那你下一次做给我吃。
So next time you have to cook it for me.
那你下一次做给我吃。
So next time, cook it for me.
那你下一次做给我吃。
And next time, cook it for me. Okay, now, good, lots of rich vocabulary in there, and vocabulary that can be used in many different contexts. So the first sentence had a very useful question construction, and that was?
你会吗?
Good. Now, can you do something? So again, please, Jenny.
你会吗?
Now, So again, can you do something? Even if you were looking at somebody who was, I don't know, playing football or something, you could say to your pal,
你会吗?
essentially it means can you do that? Now in this case, the question was, can you cook?
你会做菜吗?
Now let's look at 做菜. Okay, 菜 meaning
Vegetables or dishes.
Or dishes or food generally in this concept. So to cook here is
做菜. 做菜.
let's cook. So once again, the question, can you cook?
你会做菜吗?
So literally translated, that means you can make dishes. Question, right? 你会做菜吗? Yeah. Now, let's try that in another context. 你会 asking the question. What other questions could we ask?
你会说中文吗?
So, can you speak Chinese?
你会跳舞吗?
Can you dance?
你会唱歌吗?
Can you sing?
Yeah.
All right, so 你会吗? Very, very useful question. Now, and here's a very useful answer.
会一点. 会一点.
Now, that means basically, 我会 means I can, 一点 means a little bit.
Yes.
So, literally translated be, yeah, a bit. So, can you cook? Yeah, I can a bit. I can cook a little bit. So, one more time. I can a little bit.
会一点.
Okay. Now, if you can cook really well, you can say,
我做得很好.
我做得很好, meaning, yes, I do that very well. That could be talking about anything. So if I ask you, can you sing? You might say,
我唱得很好. So you change the verb
the
there.
verb. And if I ask you, can you dance? You could say,
我跳得很好.
good. So if you saw somebody was doing a job or a worker or something like that, and he was fixing it, you could use 做 again. The guy, you say, he's doing a good job, you could say,
你做得很好.
you're doing a good job
yes.
there. 你做得很好. Maybe that's a good translation of you're doing a good job. So that's a good phrase to remember. 你做得很好, meaning you're doing that very well. Well done.
And as a boss can always says that to
I always
every
say
one of
that.
us.
And I say it to myself from time to time. Okay, now my special dish. How do we say that?
拿手菜.
拿手菜. Tell us about this expression, 拿手.
拿手 means being very good at something.
Okay. Now, 手 meaning hand.
Hand, yeah.
And 拿 meaning
Handle.
handle.
Yeah, you pick up something. 拿.
Okay, to pick something up. So it's kind of similar to the English word handy. I'm handy at that. I'm pretty good at that. So again, my special dish,
我的拿手菜.
拿手菜. Good expression. It's quite common. If you can do something really well, it's your
You
拿
can
手
say,
菜.
yeah. Or in general, you can do something very well. You can say, 我很拿手.
我很拿手.
Yeah, so get rid of the 菜 because you're not just talking about food.
That's right.
Yeah.
我很拿手. So give us an example of that. If somebody says, can you dance? You could say,
你会跳舞吗? If you're very good, you can say with a smile on your face, 我很拿手.
我很拿手.
Next
Good.
time you'll probably perform.
Well done. Good. Now, we had some food items
Yeah,
here.
very common Chinese dish. You
Very
only see
simple.
in China, probably.
That's
Yeah.
right.
Do you get this in
No, actually,
restaurants in Ireland or the
in fact, you
States?
do, because I'll tell you why. Because it's similar, a little bit similar to scrambled eggs.
Yeah.
So if you had scrambled eggs with tomato in it, which is sometimes people do that.
You have to mix them, but
You have to mix
that's
them,
the trick.
yeah. So this has its own taste. There's no question about it. But let's look at the two items. So you have tomato.
番茄,
So the tones are
first and second.
first and second. So
番茄,
番茄. Okay, good. And so that's tomatoes and fried egg.
炒蛋,
炒蛋. So the tones there are
third and fourth.
third and fourth. So 蛋 meaning
Eggs.
egg, right? The fourth tone, 蛋. Now, normally when we talk eggs, of course, we're talking about chicken eggs, which is...
Yeah. 鸡蛋.
鸡蛋. So in English, we'll just say, do you like to eat eggs? But in Chinese, you need to specify. So they often say, do you like 鸡蛋? As in, do you like chicken eggs? Good. Now, another useful expression, construction there in the next sentence.
那你下一次做给我吃.
Now, 下一次 meaning next time. Now, in the previous lesson, we had the expression first time, which is
第一次,
second time,
第二次,
third time.
第三次.
Good, and so on. Now, in this case, we have the expression next time.
下一次. 下一次.
Great. Now, it's very, very, very common, very useful phrase. 下一次, next time.
So you want to learn traditional or simplified characters?
Can I just learn to speak Chinese? I really don't want to write or read. It's too much for me.
Are you one of the learners that told us early on that you just want to speak and listen to Chinese and you think Chinese characters are way too complicated? Then I really think you should check out our new introduction into how to read and write Chinese characters. It focuses on simple characters that you encounter in a Chinese language environment every day. In 11 entertaining episodes, we set out to convince you that Chinese characters are actually quite easy, and we hope that you will soon share our excitement. Visit 88 characters on www.chinesepod.com/88 and give it a try. Or search for the first episodes on the Chinese Pod channel on YouTube. It's as simplified as that.
Now, after that, we said, 你要做给我吃, meaning you should
Cook it for
me. Now, in English, we'll say cook for us. But in Chinese, you'll say cook and give us.
Yeah. 给, the verb 给 means to give.
Yeah. So it's again to say, so next time you can cook for us, you'd say,
那你下一次做给我们吃, if that's us.
做给我们吃.
You see, this is what happens when you say you're good at cooking.
Yeah, you say you're good, and then you say, 你做给我们吃. So if somebody asks you, 你会做饭吗? You can say, 可以. And you say, 你做给我们吃. If you're that good, you should cook something for us.
And I guess with a lot of people who are good at cooking, they're actually quite willing to share their talent.
I'm willing
feed
to do.
People,
I'm very willing to do it, but I'm not very willing to do the cleaning up. That's the problem.
We should pair up.
I think it's a good. Oh, you like the cleaning?
Yes.
Ooh,
Dishwashing is therapeutic for me.
That's the first time I've ever heard that. That's
amazing. Why I always get invited to parties.
Wow. Interesting stuff. Okay, good. So I do believe we could go through that dialogue one more time before we wrap up.
你会做菜吗？
会一点，你呢？
我做得很好，我的拿手菜是番茄炒蛋。
那你下一次做给我吃。
Okay, well, right then, it's time for us to say 再见.
As usual, Chinese Pod provides an extensive selection of learning materials for this lesson on its website, www.chinesepod.com. You can access this lesson directly with the lesson number 0058. So just go to www.chinesepod.com/0058 and you will find a transcript, vocabulary, and much more. The link again? www.chinesepod.com/0058.